The next morning at school, Se-chun asked Do-hun, "So how much longer? We have to deal with this quickly. Who knows what he'll do? But what you're planning isn't a martial arts competition. It's just a street fight, right? So it's not entirely impossible. But that doesn't mean you don't need to practice your punches. You got that?" Se-chun replied, I know. Just tell me what to do first," Do-hun said. "From today, you're with me nearly 24/7. Next is a crash course to get used to punches. You'll gain experience by fighting your way up the lower ranks. Besides that, do you know the most basic thing in boxing?" Se-chun answered, "Isn't it a surprise attack? Whoever strikes first controls the fight." Do-hun shook his head. "Wrong. It's jump rope." Se-chun held the rope, skeptical. "Jump rope? To build stamina? We don't have time for this." Do-hun pointed at him sternly. "Shut up. I'm not asking for your opinion. Stamina is part of it, but the steps are more important. The biggest difference between a trained fighter and an amateur is rhythm. One has it, the other doesn't. And the only way to drill that into your body is with a jump rope. For example, you read your opponent's rhythm, bait out their power punch, dodge it like you knew it was coming, and then counter." Suddenly, Do-hun threw a straight punch right at Se-chun's face. Se-chun turned, wincing. "Why did you suddenly hit me?" Do-hun looked bewildered, then quickly apologized. Sorry about that. I didn't think you'd actually get hit. You're dumber than I thought." "Regardless," Do-hun decided. "Anyway, your training starts today. You'll jump rope during breaks." With that, Do-hun walked away, and so, the special training began. They started with long-distance running, then moved to jumping rope and throwing medicine balls. Throughout the training, Do-hun constantly pointed out Se-chun's weaknesses. "Don't just punch hard, punch accurately. You're only using one arm. Your mind is all over the place. You can't stay focused." After school, the two returned to the gym, continuing their relentless training. Time flew by. The same drills, day after day. They gave it their absolute all, training until they collapsed onto the floor in exhaustion. Se-jun panted heavily. "Is every single day going to be like this?" Do-hun just nodded. "It has to be. Even if I'm on the wrong path now, I have to be ready for an opportunity when it comes. Is there something you want to do?" Se-jun shook his head. "I have no idea. I can only think about the present." Do-hun got up, nodding in agreement. "That's right. You can be like that too. Enough pointless chatter. Let's move on to the next phase." Se-jun was shocked. "Huh? The next phase?" In a narrow alley, a group of guys were talking trash. A heavy-set man spoke first. "Trust me, a guy like that can't achieve anything, no matter how hard he tries. It all comes down to their pathetic jealousy. Am I right? They're still young. Making money isn't impossible. These punks won't even try, but they complain about having no money. It's absurd." While he was rambling on, Se-jun walked up. "Hey, pork soup." The other guy turned around, his face a mask of annoyance. "What? Are you talking to me?" Se-jun just smirked. "Besides you, who else here looks like a bowl of soup?" The man gritted his teeth. "Damn it. What did you just say, you bastard? Today, I'm going to make your handsome face look just like mine." Do-hun stepped in. "That won't be necessary. Please, excuse us. When you equip a new skill, you have to level it up to its highest potential, right?" Without another word, Se-jun launched a punch straight at his opponent's face. The alley where the brawl was happening suddenly fell silent. After the punch, the man held his face, groaning. "That hurt, you little brat." Usually in situations like this, people get curious about their opponent's identity. "But I'm not going to ask you. Do you know why?" His face flushed as he looked up at Se-jun. Se-jun couldn't care less. He threw another punch and replied coldly, "No, you son of a bitch." The man scowled. "You have no manners. You're supposed to wait until someone's finished talking. Just shut up and fight. Your pants are making me sick." Se-jun was getting annoyed. The other guy screamed, "Do you have any idea how expensive these pants are? Do you even understand fashion?" Se-jun rushed forward, landing punch after punch on his face. "If that monstrosity you're wearing is fashion, then I'd rather be ignorant my whole life." Unable to take it anymore, the man began to fight back. "I'll teach you a lesson in respect." Se-jun focused, observing his movements. It was judo. He remembered Do-hun's words. If you get thrown to the ground, the danger increases exponentially. A bad throw could be fatal. Don't let him grab you. He had turned to ask Do-hun, "So I should practice my footwork?" Do-hun had nodded. "Exactly. You have to maintain your distance from the opponent, especially those who know judo or jujitsu. A one-handed shoulder throw can come at you at any moment, so you have to turn your body and strike." After explaining, Do-hun saw Se-jun was still distracted and sighed. The key is to use your long arms to strike without getting caught. If you do that, your opponent will get frustrated and aim for your lower body. Even if he lunges at you, you have to block him, retreat quickly, and land the knockout blow. But Se-jun's collar was already in his grasp. You're a real piece of work. You think it's over now? He roared. You're finished. I'm done playing around with you. Especially with a massive frame like his, this was no longer a martial art. It was a battle for survival. His hand tightened on Se-jun's collar, but Se-jun immediately snapped his finger. My finger! The bone is sticking out! It hurts so much! The man shrieked. Before he could recover, another punch landed squarely on his face. Knockout. The man collapsed backward. With one down, Se-jun immediately went to find the others involved. His fighting skills were improving with every exchange. As a result, the remaining thugs were all defeated, one after the other. At the martial arts gym, Se-jun's face was bruised, and his bandaged hands were trembling. Do-hun looked at him with concern. You should rest. No matter how weak they were, you still need time to recover. Se-jun refused. No, let's continue. I don't have any more time. I already told you. We don't know when Lim Jong-hun will come back to monitor Hajin. Do-hun tried to persuade him. Even so, your strength has increased significantly, but it's not enough to win yet. Build up your strength steadily. But Se-jun was stubborn. I'm going to find him this week. I can't wait any longer. I can't just stand by and watch Ha-in suffer like this. Do-hun felt helpless. All right. If you're that determined, I'll teach you a few tricks to deal with Lim Jong-hun's fighting style. Everything the two of them discussed in the gym. Aeon heard it all from outside. That evening, Han was surprised when her parents came to pick her up together. What's going on? Why did you both come to get me? Her father spoke up. It's been a while since our family went out together. Today is our anniversary. Your 20th wedding anniversary? Ha-in's jaw dropped in surprise. Is that really a thing? Has this generation finally become so romantic? So, what are we having for dinner tonight? He turned to Ha-in's mother. Let's go out to eat after this. I'm craving a beefsteak. Hearing that, Ha-in became furious. No way. Why didn't you call me? Am I not a part of this family? Why am I always the one getting picked on? I like beef, too. Seeing this, Lim Jong-hun boiled with rage. Seriously? You think I don't have parents? Every time I'm with you, it's nothing but trouble. I'm not wrong, am I? Let's see if we're stuck together for life. I'm not giving up on you, kid. I'll show you how terrifying I can be. Just as he went to light a smoke, a voice stopped him cold. It was an officer. The man spoke up. This is a no-smoking area. The punk, still clueless, talked back. Are passers-by always this nosy? You got a problem, old man? You own this street? Or are you some kind of cop? The moment he said it, the officer revealed his badge. Seeing it, he panicked. He scoffed at the cop's young face. I need to see your ID for verification. He tried to weasel out of it. My apologies. I don't have it on me. Thanks for your hard work. But as he turned to leave, the officer called him back. What did I just say? I said I want to see your ID. He turned back, pleading desperately. I'm truly sorry. Please just let it go this once. I promise I'll never smoke in a restricted area again. Besides, I hadn't even lit it yet, he said, trying to slip away. But then the officer called him by his full name, In Chong-hun. 1.7 meters tall, red hair, with unlucky black eyes. I've been tracking you for nights now. Still, he tried to deny it. That's not me. You have the wrong guy. The officer was firm. We'll know for sure after I check your ID. You little rat. Because of you, I haven't been home in days. Seeing his escape was cut off, he bolted. The officer behind him roared. You dare mess with a homicide detective? I'm the mad dog of the violent crimes unit. And with that, he gave chase. The officer's speed was astonishing. He glanced back, eyes wide. A real mad dog. How was he so fast? But right then, a car sped out of nowhere. The officer stared at the car in shock, and in that moment of distraction, he tripped and fell. Enraged, he yelled, What the hell was that? A voice called from the car. If I wasn't in a hurry, you'd be dead. Then the person called out to In Chong-hun. While he was still dazed, the person inside said, Team Leader Kim sent me. I'm here now. Get in the car. If you're not in within 5 seconds, I'm leaving. Seeing the officer getting up to chase him, he quickly climbed into the vehicle. The car started moving fast. He urged from the back. Faster. That old man is chasing us like a mad dog. The car sped away, leaving the officer staring at its license plate. After escaping danger, he finally sighed in relief. But how did Team Leader Kim know to send you here? He works better than I thought. The driver cut him off. Be quiet. He was surprised. What? You just told me to get in so we could talk. The driver took off his hat, and 2 thoughts flooded his mind. First, you're young and deserve to be punished by law and given a chance to reform. Hearing that, he was shocked. What are you saying? Weren't you sent by Team Leader Kim? The person in the car was Aeon, he continued. And second, trash like you should be torn to pieces and burned alive. At the parking lot, In Chong-hun was stunned. Who are you? What's your problem? He quickly opened the door. Let me out. Aeon turned back and said, I'm not the type to be pushed around. What made you this way? Do you know the fate of people like you? He gritted his teeth. What are you rambling about? Do you know me? Open the door now or I'll call the police. Aeon stared at him. One day you'll meet someone stronger, and your life will fall apart. But you just brought that moment closer. To be precise, to right now. He got angry. What are you saying? Stop spouting nonsense, and open the car door. He then tried to hit Aeon but failed. Instead, Aeon pinned him down on the seat, the pain making him grit his teeth. As he struggled, his eyes widened at the large axe in Aeon's hand, and he gasped in fear. Wait, this can't be real. Aeon swung the axe, making his target scream in terror. A loud thud echoed in the car. In his panic, tears streamed down In Chong-hun's face. Aeon looked straight at him and ordered coldly, "Stop squirming. Stay still. It'll be a pain to wash the car." When the axe blade came down right in front of him, he thought, "What is this? Am I going to die?" Aeon held his head with one hand. He spoke with a mocking tone. "Don't worry too much. You've lived a hard life. It'd be a pity to just go to hell. I'll let you feel it before you go. Offer your hand for me to chop. In this life or death situation." He immediately gathered his courage and kicked hard at the man. Surprised by the kick, Aeon glared at him with cold eyes. In Chong-hun quickly retreated to the back of the car, thinking only of escaping as soon as possible. If Aeon won't open the door, I have to break it and run, he told himself. To break the door, I need a hard head. He gritted his teeth, thinking, a broken head is 1,000,000 times better than dying by this killer's hand. With that, he slammed his head into the car window with all his might, but the glass didn't break as he imagined. Instead, a large lump swelled up on his head. Aeon looked at him with contempt. "This is bulletproof glass, you idiot. If you want to get out that badly, then just go. It's getting hot in here anyway." After saying that, Aeon opened the car window for him. The glass door opened. His only thought was to run. He had to reach the streets, the cameras. They couldn't act recklessly there. Before fleeing, he shot Aeson the middle finger, yelling with a confident sneer, "I'm calling the cops, you bastard!" Cameras, surveillance, memory cards. They recorded everything. It's the digital age. Your hood is useless. With that, he turned and sprinted away. Aeson watched him go, his eyes like ice. So, I'm the kidnapper now? Then I'll have to leave a little something on his leg. But hitting a moving target is tricky. Aeson hurled the axe toward In-hun. Unsurprisingly, the blade found its mark. In-hun screamed, crashing to the ground, his body trembling in pure agony. "Help me. Please. Help me." Aeson walked over, pinning his face to the ground with his foot. "Remember my words. Never wander down that street again, and erase Ha-in's very existence from your mind. If you ever act like that again, you'll either vanish without a trace, or you'll be begging me for a ticket to hell. If you can't, just say so. I'll end you right now." In-hun trembled and stammered, "No, I swear I won't go near that street again. Just save me, and I'll forget the girl completely." Aeson's voice was cold. "Here, have a taste of this, too." Then, he stomped his foot down hard on the man's head. His screams echoed through the neighborhood. After Aeson left, In-hun limped home. Who the hell was that guy? And what's with that girl? Does she have some kind of guardian angel? I almost died back there. Manager Kim. Just as he spoke, he saw a woman standing before his door. She looked up. "In-hun, you're home? You shouldn't keep your teacher waiting this long." Seeing the bruises, she moved closer. "Your face. What happened to you? What's going on? Who did this to you? We need to get you to a hospital." But he slapped her hand away. "Don't touch me, teacher. This isn't your business. Just go home. Stop showing up like a stalker." The teacher was stunned by his words. "In-hun, how long are you going to live like this? You're skipping more classes. Did you learn martial arts just for this? You were never like this before." Before she could finish, he snapped. "You talk too much. If you can't help, then stop. You're just annoying. You work for a paycheck, so just do your job." I was constantly beaten, and I begged for help, but the school never did a thing. The police only listened to those bastards and left. So who solved it in the end? Me. I learned to fight after they chased me all the way home. You ask if I learned to fight just to do bad things? Well, these bad things work against them. So stay out of my business. His rage built with every word. After he vented everything, the teacher began to cry. In-hun, I'm powerless, so I couldn't help you much. But you know that, right? No matter how hard things get, we have to face them together. If you keep going down this path, he couldn't take any more. He raised his hand to strike her. Shut up. Stop crying and get lost. You're disgusting. Seeing his raised hand, the teacher flinched, covering her face. In-hun, don't. As tension peaked, with the teacher terrified, Se-jun appeared. You really shouldn't be using that hand like this. He caught In-hun's wrist in a vice grip. If you don't know how to control that hand, I'll have to make it useless for you. You piece of trash. At his apartment, In-hun glared at Se-jun. You. How the hell do you know where I live? His gaze shot to the teacher, filled with suspicion. Did you bring him here? What are you two plotting? The teacher quickly shook her head. No, that's not it. He said he was your friend. He was worried because he couldn't reach you, afraid something terrible might have happened. At this, his anger erupted. What? Friends? Are you that stupid? How could you believe that? As he screamed in rage, Se-jun's fist suddenly flew, connecting right with his forehead. The impact sent him flying backward. The cut on his head from the glass burst open, blood pouring out. He writhed on the ground, groaning in agony. Se-jun looked down, his voice cold. A piece of trash like you deserves to have his face smashed in. The teacher rushed to intervene. Student, what are you doing? Aren't you two friends? Please stop. Se-jun turned, his gaze chillingly cold. I'm sorry for lying to you, ma'am. But he hasn't been to school for days. I had no other choice. But Se-jun wasn't listening. The teacher tried to hold him back, but In-hun had already ignored all advice and even planned a crime. Still, the teacher pleaded, violence is never the solution. It only leads to more violence. But Se-jun cut her off. You're right, but this is my choice. I can't let trash like him keep hurting people. Se-jun remembered Ha-in's terrified face, his voice hardening. What exactly is proper judgment? If we do nothing, the innocent will continue to live in fear, and I refuse to let that happen. In-hun finally spoke up, his voice weak. Hey, wait, just listen. My condition isn't good. There's no honor in beating me like this. I just got back from the hospital. We should both just take a break. Se-jun let out an icy sigh. Without a word, he drove his knee straight into the man's head. In-hun blocked in agony, but still tried to resist. Even like this. Beating me only makes you a coward. He unleashed a flurry of punches towards Se-jun, but every single one was easily dodged. Se-jun then slipped behind his opponent, landing a solid blow to the waist before aiming for the face. But the attack was narrowly avoided. In-hun gritted his teeth. This bastard. How is he so different from before? When did he learn to fight in such a short time? Even so, a single kick should be enough. But as he lifted his leg, the wound on his rear flared in agony, and he cried out as blood began to flow. However, Se-jun didn't stop. He drove another punch straight into In-hun's face, sending him to the ground. Next time, I won't let you anywhere near Ha-chi. Se-jun spoke coldly as he advanced. But unexpectedly, the teacher rushed out, shielding In-hun with her body. Seeing this, Se-jun paused, unwilling to harm her. He doesn't deserve this protection. But the teacher was already in tears. She begged him, if the boy made a mistake, let the law handle it and give him a second chance. I'll take full responsibility. Just stop. Se-jun nodded. He knew she was right, but this situation couldn't be solved that way. I knew I shouldn't have let her come along, he thought. Suddenly, In-hun, still on the ground, burst out laughing. What kind of show are you two putting on? Are you filming a movie? He then kicked the teacher hard, sending her flying into a wall. Se-jun rushed over in a panic. A lot of blood was already flowing from the back of the teacher's head. He immediately took out his phone to call for an ambulance. But in that unguarded moment, In-hun stood behind him, smashing a club into his head. What's the big deal? A little blood won't kill her. I've been beaten black and blue, and I'm still alive. He sneered, kicking Se-jun repeatedly. I hate bastards like you, acting so high and mighty just because you were born rich. That look in your eyes, it's like you're looking down on everyone. And did you know that teacher is a fake? I hoped she'd help me, but she did nothing. Just pretending to be kind and sincere. Useless parasites like you only know how to play. Se-jun's own injuries weren't light. He lowered his head, a feeling of weakness and self-doubt washing over him. His words only fueled the man's rage. Are you asking to die? But Se-jun continued. You're just trying to rationalize things, blaming your circumstances and others for your own choices. Shut up. What the hell do you know? If you were in my shoes. Se-jun cut him off, his voice laced with sarcasm. Do you think everyone with a life like yours chooses the same path? Not at all. Despite adversity, many people continue to strive and live on. But you grew up in misery and became a criminal with a loser's mentality. Don't lecture me. I'm not interested. Pretending you understand? I can tell you've lived a comfortable life. He threw a punch at Se-jun, but it met a rock-hard elbow. Using too much force, his fingers broke on impact. Se-jun grabbed his hand, his voice like ice. You're just a piece of trash, incapable of ever changing. I was going to let you go, but now, I don't feel the slightest bit of guilt. A blood-curdling scream tore from his throat. Wait, my fingers! It hurts so much! Please, let go! It's agony! I said it hurts! Se-jun glared at him with contempt. I'm enjoying this. And now, the real show is about to begin. He squeezed tighter, making the man scream in pain. Are you insane? The words were barely out before a heavy slap sent him sprawling. Se-jun roared. What's with all the noise? It's late, so shut up. Though in agony, In-hun forced a smirk. You've messed with the wrong person. He pulled a hidden knife from his clothes, swinging it wildly at Se-jun. He hadn't expected a concealed weapon. Looking at the gash on his arm, Se-jun said coldly, "This is beyond my expectations." In-hun gloated. "What's wrong? Why the sudden retreat? I bought this just for psychos like you. Come on. If you're so tough, come at me. I'll stick this knife in your gut. After I'm done with you, maybe I'll use it on your girlfriend too? I can't wait." At that moment, Se-jun recalled a conversation with Ayan. When faced with a knife-wielding opponent, he had asked excitedly, "Like in the movies, once I learn to fight, I can disarm guys with knives, right? You have techniques for that here too?" Ayan thought for a moment, then replied, "Well, yes. It's not just for show. There's a trick anyone can use." Se-jun was thrilled. "What is it? Please, tell me. I have no idea how people are supposed to handle that." Ayan then taught him a crucial lesson. First, quickly bring both hands up to guard your body. Keep your eyes on the opponent and take a small step back. Then, turn and run as fast as you can. If your enemy has a knife, don't try to be a hero just because you know martial arts. Run away immediately if you don't want to die. However, if you're forced to fight, always maintain a safe distance. Don't let the blade touch you. But right now, In-hun was screaming as he chased him from behind. "Where did you run? Think hiding will solve anything. Keep running. I'll find you." But before he could move, a brick smashed into his head. In-hun screamed in agony as the knife fell from his hand. Asen's teachings echoed in his mind. If you strike at the right moment, your opponent loses their will to fight. Seize that chance and take him down at all costs. Following that lesson, Se-jun used all his might to slam In-hun to the ground. In-hun couldn't even scream, only gasp desperately for breath. He locked his legs around his neck, making In-hun yell, "Stop! Don't you want to know about me? I'll tell you everything." Se-jun replied, "Yes, I have questions, especially about Jong-go, but first, I'm going to beat you senseless." In-hun shrieked in pain. After the beating ended, Se-jun stood and said, "Now, the game begins. I will ask questions, and you will answer immediately. Dodge one, and you'll get two more. The choice is yours." In-hun screamed, "You lunatic! My leg is broken. Call an ambulance." Se-jun gave a cold laugh. "Perfect. That way you won't forget what you've done. Let me remind you. That guy, Trang Hain, he's the one who did this to your right side, isn't he? Now I'm going to do the same to your left side. Then we can continue our chat." In-hun stammered in fear. "Wait, I'm not the boss. Don't do it." But Se-jun's hands didn't stop. He continued to mercilessly beat his face. After a long while, it finally ended. His face was a bruised wreck, and Se-jun's own injuries weren't much better. With the fight over, Se-jun sat on top of him and asked coldly, "Are you ready to talk now?" Meanwhile, in Manager Kim's office, he was in the middle of a serious discussion. "Maybe because of that other guy's condition, the next one is better, but not by much. We just need to get everyone's support. The team captain told us to stop filming here." He glanced at his monitor, continuing, "The next contestant will stay with you. I don't want to speak ill of him." At a restaurant, a girl cleaning her ears suddenly said, "What's this feeling all of a sudden?" The man across from her asked, "Are your ears itching? Let me help you with that." The girl shook her head. "I think someone's bad-mouthing me. It's so annoying." Just then, her phone buzzed. The man eyed the phone and said, "Does this guy call you every single day just to ask you to eat?" The girl asked, "Who is it?" The man answered, "It's Manager Kim. I'll call back after we're done. It's not urgent. Let's just eat first." The girl continued, "Appa, I told you before. That's your problem. Why put off something you can do right now? You can't answer the phone while eating? What if it's something important?" Hearing that, the man's face went pale. "I'm sorry." The girl continued, "I'm only saying this for you. Why is it like this every day? I told you to just ask me. Is it because you don't want to listen to what I say? If someone says they're in a bad mood, can't you fix that? You have to change that. Let's take this call, and then we'll talk." She then answered the phone. Hearing a woman's voice, Manager Kim asked, "Isn't this student and Sang-so's phone?" The girl spoke up, "Manager, have you already forgotten my voice? That's so sad. The competition format changed so suddenly. I waited so long for my turn, and I had planned everything perfectly." A few days later, as Se-jun was walking down the street, someone tapped his shoulder. Startled, he turned. The girl laughed. "What are you so surprised about? I'm not that short." "What year are you? Do you have a girlfriend?" At the hospital, the doctor was briefing the teacher. Luckily, the test results show she has no serious injuries. If she rests for a few days, this minor concussion should stabilize. If she feels dizzy or anything seems off, bring her back immediately. The teacher bowed to thank the doctor, then turned to speak with Se-jun. The patient who was admitted with me was moved to another hospital, as we don't have the specialists for immediate surgery. For more information, you can speak with the nurse. Thankfully, the student wasn't badly hurt, so please remain calm. After the doctor left, Se-jun bowed his head to the teacher. I'm sorry you had to go through this because of me. The teacher, however, was still worried about In Trong-hun. Se-jun replied, the doctor said his life isn't in danger. The teacher bowed her head again. It's all my fault. Surprised, Se-jun asked, why is it your fault? The teacher explained, I was In Trong-hun's homeroom teacher back when he was a first year. I didn't intervene with his family problems in time. I only taught him how to defend himself. He was so grateful and excited about his new skills. But one day, after school, I saw him talking to an older man. I thought he was from a sports center, so I paid it no mind. After that day, In Trong-hun started fighting bullies and became their leader. From that day on, every student feared him. One drunken night, his father beat him with savage cruelty. Normally, he would just take it. But today, he finally fought back. This defiance was sparked by Kim's words. He had told In-hun that only his own strength could truly protect him. Violence is the only way to defeat violence. Isn't the law useless now? If he didn't fight back, he'd live like a coward. He decided to try it. Remembering Kim's words, In-hun resisted. It was the first time he ever struck his father, and his retaliation was merciless. His father collapsed, gasping. A twisted satisfaction bloomed inside In-hun. After that day, he changed completely. After hearing the teacher's story, Se-jun reflected, that's a sad story, but I don't think it justifies everything. Those who admit their faults can still be saved. But people who insist they are always right are an entirely different matter. The teacher suddenly asked, do you believe in demons? A wounded soul is easily swayed by the words of others. Their lives can change drastically depending on who they meet and what they hear. The words she offered In-hun were hard to swallow, but the words of others were so much sweeter. You can see the results immediately with your power. Those with weak hearts are vulnerable to the devil's whisper. That's why students must be careful not to become like In-hun. His current path is one of self-destruction, and demons will keep whispering, sensing what these kids lack. Back in the present, the girl approached Se-jun. He eyed the stranger and asked, who are you? Do I know you? She acted cute, saying, shouldn't you know, you silly goose. Why don't you ask if I have a boyfriend? Se-jun was bewildered. What? I don't know you. Why are you being so forward with me? If I wasn't wearing my glasses, he thought, I'd tell you to get lost. Her mind raced. What's with this reaction? This is a first. She covered her mouth. All right then, let's get to know each other naturally. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be friends. As her hand reached out, Se-jun recoiled in alarm. Now she was confused. What? He dodged my hand like it was covered in filth. Se-jun turned and scolded her. We just met. That's incredibly rude. You can't just touch people like that. You startled me. She frowned. It's not like my hand is dirty. Why do you hate it so much? Se-jun pointed at her. See? You're being too blunt again. Is that a habit of yours? It's not a good one. Just as she was about to argue, Hane appeared behind her. Hey, lady, that's enough. Hearing a voice, she turned coldly. What did you just say? Hane repeated. I said that's enough, lady. This guy's already taken, so go find someone your own age. She fumed. What are you talking about? I'm a high school student, too. Can't you see my uniform? But they ignored her and walked away, leaving her seething. Are these kids insane? Ignoring me? She vowed. I'll ruin you both so you can never be happy. She glared at their departing backs. Just you wait. I won't let this go so easily. That evening, Aeon pulled his car over. A man got in. Aeon turned to him. Did you find anything? I've been monitoring every dark web user I know. They're talking about gathering students for a brutal fight. So, did you find the operator's info? Aeon asked. The man began to sweat nervously. I couldn't find out who it is. The dark web uses a private program, making it impossible to trace. Transaction histories can't be tracked because everything is done in Bitcoin. But one guy I followed gave me a lead. Before I talk, if I tell you, can I quit this job? I can't do this dangerous work anymore. The man tried to set a condition. Aeon didn't answer, instead rummaging through the car. I know I left that axe somewhere. The man panicked. Okay, I'll tell you, he thought. This guy is insane. Aeon held up the axe. Were you just thinking, this guy wants to die? The informant froze. What? Can he read my mind? Aeon raised a hand. I can't read minds. Just talk. Terrified, the man spilled everything. I'll tell you the truth. According to my source, he saw a flyer for the fight location somewhere. He'd bought something from another dark website before. It was an advertisement flyer showing a picture of the prize. When asked what the prize was, he said it was drugs. The drug infamous for the most severe mental and physical dependency of all. Heroin. In Chief Kim's building, a man knelt before him. Please, he trembled, tears streaming down his face. Just let me fight. The regular matches keep getting postponed. What are people like me supposed to do? Chief Kim answered. You must control your dosage. Mindless indulgence is the definition of addiction. You seem to be confused. We provide it cheaply for convenience, he continued. You'll never find that dosage with prize money. Player Lee. Still, since you've made the matches entertaining, I'll prepare a special, small package just for you. I can't give you much. Your death would be inconvenient. The addict's face went pale. Thank you, truly. But can you tell me about the next match? If you just tell me to keep waiting, Manager Kim said his turn was coming soon. A female jiu-jitsu student joined the last event, correct? The man replied, Yes. I remember that little girl. A match against her. Would that be all right? Someone was secretly filming their exchange. Isn't that girl's friend hunting down all the past fighters for revenge? We've sent our own people to film his crusade. Manager Kim framed the scene with his fingers. A boy who mastered martial arts to avenge his dearest friend, using violence beyond the law to make them pay. Such precious justice. It's pure human instinct. They say forgiveness and reason are what separate man from beast, the ability to control that instinct. But all of that is just empty rhetoric. It's a lie people tell themselves. Deep down, the truth is simple. I want to crush them. I want to hit them. I want to kill them. I want them to pay. So, give people a safe place to unleash that violent, primal instinct, and they will feel an ecstatic, satisfying release. Manager Kim smiled. The wealthy, especially, understand its value. This event is sure to attract many sponsors. From our perspective, this vengeful little boy is an absolute godsend. He asked Manager Kim, So, I just have to lose? I'll still get the drugs? Kim adjusted his glasses. No, not at all. The more vivid and real the fight is, the more the audience goes wild, don't you think? If you win, I'll supply you for an entire year. His expression hardened. So focus only on what you stand to gain. The man lowered his head to the floor. Yes, I understand. I will keep that in mind. And now, can I have that dose you mentioned? Manager Kim replied, Fine. I'll have it brought up. Wait on the first floor. Just then, the director walked in, sighing. The traffic on the way home is hell, isn't it? You people have been at this for decades. I can't imagine how skilled you all must be. I truly respect it, Manager Kim said. You were the one who insisted on coming to the office. Who knows? How could I predict a sudden spark of passion? Knowing the way back is what counts. It's not like the company gives me any benefits. I doubt I'm even insured for this. The director nearly stepped on the man's head. Whoa, that startled me. Why is this junkie here? The man looked up. Hello, director, the director asked. Jonesing again? If you don't control your dose, you're finished. He reached into his jacket, wrinkling his nose at the foul stench rising from the man. Get yourself cleaned up and eat a proper meal. That's how you'll last long enough to keep fighting. He pulled out a few bills and tossed them on the floor. The drugs alone are expensive. Take this and get going. Thank you. I'll be waiting for your call, director. It had been a while since the addict last fought. I wonder if he'll even last until his match against Lim Jong-hoon in this event. If all our fighters get sick, how will you handle the upcoming matches? Got a plan? Manager Kim just smiled, his voice dripping with cunning. Don't you worry. We needed to clean house anyway. We'll use them for this event, then discard them. His smile widened, revealing its true depravity. Those kids have holes in their souls. They can be exploited anytime, anywhere. The director lit a cigarette, exhaling a thin stream of smoke. Fine. Fighter management is your job, so you handle it. But we're still short of our target. Find a way to pull in sponsors, and fast. A man appeared, handing the addict the dose Manager Kim had promised. Here you go. So, that's the captain's name. Just endure it. He stammered. Can the captain even do that? Then he held out the money from the director. Can I get more than this? The captain stared at him for a moment. So, what's the plan? Hold on. I'll go get a different type of medicine. He held up his hand. Do you see my palm? The other guy looked confused. Your palm, sir? What about it? Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the dojo. Aeon and Johan were in a heated argument over something. Aeon demanded to know why Dohun refused. Johan shot back. I don't like grabbing other men just to get into a fight. Aeon's face fell. You said you'd help with anything you could. A man's word is his bond. So what was this? That's not it. I meant I'd help with jujitsu practice. Aeon pressed on. But there are no new members. Se-jun's stamina grew because he used so many techniques. Without a partner, you can't truly practice and improve your skills. He then added, but if you hate it that much, you can just leave the gym. You've worked hard. Just stay busy and let's not see each other again. Johan panicked. I get it. All right? I'll do it. But I'm no beginner. Se-jun might not even be able to use his techniques on me. I won't accept defeat that easily. If you can accept those terms, Is that fine? Everyone in the dojo turned to stare at him. Fine by me, that's even better. Why was he so worried? In the next moment, Rohan was caught in a chokehold, struggling to breathe. We won't go easy on you either, one of his seniors said, approaching. Me too, Rohan. Spar with me next. Johan replied, exhausted. Even for jiu-jitsu, with this much of a weight difference, he stood almost no chance. He was relentlessly passed around by everyone in the dojo. You're tough, Rohan. Then another challenger stepped forward. I've been waiting for this day. Fight me next. Johun couldn't resist, taking the blows from everyone in the dojo. He lay motionless on the mat, unable to speak. Aeon approached him. What's wrong? Jiu-jitsu is more fun than you thought, right? Want to keep going? Johun's face was pale, utterly speechless. Please, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu anymore. But Aeon ignored his pleas, continuing the grueling practice. After what felt like an eternity, the session finally ended. That's it for today's class. The coach worked hard too, the dojo members cheerfully said. See you all tomorrow. Rohan sighed. Yeah, I know. We're going to shower now. Se-jun looked at him with curiosity. What's wrong? Tired? You're this wiped out from a little practice? Dohun glared back, his eyes filled with frustration. Aren't I still better than you? Today had been absolute hell. Se-jun tried to suppress a smile, but his eyes betrayed his amusement. Hey, what's with that look on your face? Dohun asked. Se-jun replied, My expression is normal. You're the one with the problem. Dohun raised his voice. This punk. Are you saying you won today's jiu-jitsu practice? It was my first time in a gi. My first time doing jiu-jitsu. I just need to adapt. Se-jun finally burst out laughing. Haha, okay, you can do it. When it comes to jiu-jitsu, you'll definitely win. Dohun muttered to himself. I really want to punch this kid. He then asked, why doesn't our dojo have a jiu-jitsu class? Se-jun sighed. We used to, but it's gone now. I learned a few things from Aeon back then. You want to train? Dohun shook his head. Not me. It's probably more useful for you. Se-jun was surprised. Me? Why? Dohun explained. In a real fight, you're not wearing a uniform, are you? Besides, apart from Director Han and Manager Kim, there's only Lee Kanggon and that guy Song-soo left. Se-jun asked, Who's Song-soo? What's his deal? Dohun continued. If you look purely at competition records, Sang-soo is the standout. He's a martial arts genius and might be your biggest wall. He comes from a wrestling background and has mastered no-gi jiu-jitsu. Dohun then explained no-gi. It's a style where you compete shirtless, wearing only shorts and a rash guard, so you can't use grips on your opponent's clothes. The stark white room was submerged in a strange silence. A powerfully built man appeared, water dripping down his chiseled chest. Just then, Se-jun spoke up. Want to get some spicy rice cakes? The man immediately replied. Spicy rice cakes? Carbo loading after an intense workout is perfect. But can you ask them to make it less spicy? Se-jun was stunned by Dohun's presence, and a new thought struck him. What kind of physique is that? Dohun seemed to notice his strange reaction and asked what was wrong. Faced with the question, Se-jun felt a moment of panic. This just confused Dohun even more. After a moment of silence, Se-jun finally spoke, still in a state of shock. Hey, do you have to lift weights to get a body like that? Hearing this, Dohun answered calmly. Of course you have to lift. To build muscle, you have to pump iron. His words only made the other guy more flustered. You've lost a lot of muscle since I first saw you, huh? He kept denying Dohun's words. Soon unconsciously tried to cover his body. He glared at Dohun with an embarrassed look and shouted, It's just 'cause I took a cold shower. But his opponent's words froze him on the spot. What nonsense are you talking about? I meant your physique. As he spoke, Dohun put on a white t-shirt, all while Soon stared awkwardly. Technique is important, but your physical condition matters just as much. Haven't you heard of Xiao Yunji? With such poor control over your body, how can you possibly continue to fight? Suddenly, Soon's voice cut through the heavy air. I'm begging you, can you please put on underwear first? It's really gross. However, Dohun revealed, and Sang-soo's real strength is his strict self-management. An image of the powerful Sang-soo appeared. He just sticks to his routine. He never makes excuses for laziness, like being tired or having other plans. Not only that, Dohun emphasized, but the interesting thing is, he isn't naturally diligent or a planner. Unsurprisingly, Soon couldn't care less. He repeated. So what? Can you just put on your underwear before you continue talking? Meanwhile, Sang-soo was gripping a dumbbell and muttering to himself. What number was that? 7. 8. He's just an idiot, completely devoted to his physical power. Back to Dohun, who sighed as he pulled on his pants. But he's actually quite gentle and innocent, except when he's training. Soon, pulling on his shirt, retorted, That's sickening to hear. Is your idea of gentle extorting money from weaker kids and joining illegal fights? His voice grew choked with emotion. If his victims heard that, they would probably cry tears of blood. Soon's reaction made him pause, But Du-hun continued to defend Sang-shu anyway. A guy like me is, as you say, an irredeemable bastard. But Sang-soo is different. He muttered while putting on his jacket. He has never bullied or extorted money from anyone. He only fights because someone else sets it up. Faced with these words, Soon suddenly challenged him. So he's just a puppet? Du-hun wasn't surprised by the question. He replied calmly, That's right. And Sang-shu is just being used like an idiot. Elsewhere, John suddenly spoke up with a troubled expression. I told you not to do that anymore. Right after, Sang-shu quickly replied with a stammer. I'm sorry. This surprised the girl, who blurted out, What? Even he was surprised by her question. What for? John sat there, dazed, staring straight at Sang-shu. What are you sorry for? Didn't I tell you to stop apologizing without knowing what you did wrong? That girl is Kangon. These images left Soon completely bewildered. He couldn't help but mutter, the redhead with big eyes who ties her hair up. Du-hun quickly replied, his voice full of shock. How do you know that? Did she approach you, too? However, he got a casual reply. Yeah. A few days ago on the street, she started spouting nonsense. But is she really a high schooler? Du-hun suddenly remarked. It's hard to tell kids from adults these days. I can't tell either. Kangon is probably your age. 18. His words infuriated Du-hun, who yelled, What kind of life has that girl lived? But Soon just waved his phone, replying innocently, In any case, that's not what's important. I don't know what to do, but you have to be careful with her. She uses everything to indirectly push people into the abyss. She takes control of a person's life and manipulates them as she pleases. This information made Soon fall deep into thought. He whispered, Even so, I can't just find her and beat her up. My goal is to monitor the participants. Du-hun suddenly cut him off. First, we'll go talk to Sang-soo. From a nearby bathroom, someone was slowly walking out. Meanwhile, Soon casually called, Hey, Lee-soon, you should come eat tteokbokki with us. In that moment, both Soon and Do-hun's eyes widened in utter shock. They were both glued to the sight of John's body. He, however, calmly replied to Soon's invitation. Tteokbokki? All right, order a large portion. By now, Sun and Du-hun were still stunned. They just stood there, staring blankly at him. He replied unconsciously, Yes, we got it. I'll order the largest size. The gym was suddenly plunged into a strange silence. Sang-shu sat there, completely stunned. Jun, he mumbled, do we really have to go this far? Can't we just fight him head on? But John's response was swift and brutal. Think about it. A dull fight like that won't entertain anyone. We need the audience to pay up. But Sang-shu cut in rudely, forcing her to snap. Don't interrupt me. John stared straight into his eyes, her gaze intense. To keep fighting, you need money for uniforms, food, and the gym. Is that little bit all you want? Not thinking about the future? The leftover money won't last, you know. Her words sent a jolt of panic through Sang-shu. That's right. Why didn't he fight that girl? I should have been there. He shot back defensively. No, how could I hit a small girl like that? But John wasn't satisfied with his answer, pressing him relentlessly. What? Playing the righteous hero now? If that's the case, don't let a girl fool you. Many people will challenge you. Are you so sure you can beat every single one? Is that what you mean? Her words sent Sang-shu spiraling into panic. His ears felt like they were bleeding, his head spinning every time he heard John's voice. He managed to whisper back, No, that's not what I said. But she cut him off. No, you always make me out to be the bad guy, John said with a dead serious expression. I do all this for you. And now you say that? I don't know how to feel. Sang-shu quickly asked, You must be really sad, huh? Immediately, she confirmed. Yes, you know me so well. Not only that, John added with a radiant smile. So you just need to do exactly what I tell you, okay? Her expression left Sang-shu utterly baffled. He replied without thinking, I get it. I'm sorry, John. In the quiet night, a familiar voice suddenly called out, Joan? It was John. She leaned against the wall, trying to look imposing. Did you find anything? Meanwhile, Yidu stood a safe distance away. She spoke earnestly. I asked her classmates from school. Her face grew paler by the second. Sweat dripped down her face like rain. They said that Hajin had an accident a few months ago and dropped out. I don't know what kind. The news stunned John. She blurted out instinctively. What? Dropped out? But the person next to her quickly shattered John's doubt. You came here without knowing that? You should have researched it, you witch. A sudden voice made the other person jump. Hey, she's talking to me, she insisted. You damn bastard. The words terrified her opponent. She continued to speak in a flustered voice. Right, I'm sorry, John. Then John strode toward Yidu. She asked with an arrogant smirk. Anything else? Faced with this terrifying aura, the girl hurriedly spilled everything she knew. I heard that after dropping out, she started attending a cram school for the qualification exam. This news only made John more thrilled. She murmured softly. So, A cram school for the qualification exam. A thought suddenly sparked in her mind. And I just need to get to that brat's friends. John asked another question. Do you know which cram school? Send it to me on Katalk. You did well. This only made Yidu even more terrified. She stared at her with horrified eyes and stammered. John? But John had already lost her patience. What is it? Spit it out. Finally, she dared to ask. The video. That video. You'll delete it now, right? John's reply completely broke Yidu's spirit. Her face went deathly pale from fear. Huh? What video? The one where you're dancing in that weird outfit? What about it? It was cute and sexy. Are you scared I'll leak it? Oh, come on. We're friends. John dangled the phone in front of Yidu's face, a wicked smirk on her own. As long as you listen, it'll stay hidden in my phone forever. So don't worry. The air grew heavy with the silence of the night. Gangshu walked along the road, lost in thought. I didn't see John at all today, so I ate pork rice alone. I even had the pork belly. A voice from behind suddenly made him turn around. Hey, big head, why are you in such a good mood? The moment the person finished, he replied innocently. Me? I'm not big head. I'm Min Marini. Suddenly, Sang-shu's eyes filled with terror. He stammered. Huh? That shirt. Du-hun stood before him with a smug grin. You're that guy. Du-hun mine. A wave of joy washed over Sang-shu. He grabbed the other's hand tightly. It's been such a long time. You seem happy to see me. How've you been? Still doing boxing? Du-hun replied curtly. It's fine. Sang-shu quickly tried to leave, saying, It's not that. Let's just go get some cup rice and we can talk. John isn't with me today, so my treat. But Du-hun stopped him dead in his tracks with a single line. Look, I came here to talk. Meanwhile, Sang-shu nervously tried to avoid his gaze. Oh yeah? I have plenty to say too. Let's get food? Then Du-hun's tone hardened. I'll just say it. Those words made the other man freeze in his tracks. If you don't want to get so hurt, you can't even move. Break up with Kang John. He whipped around, his face pale with fear. Why are you suddenly saying that? Why bring John into this? And who's going to hurt me? Right after, Do-hun passionately explained everything. You probably already know. That man could even be Se-jun. They stared each other down, Do-hun completely unafraid. If not him, then it could be me. Silence fell over the dark alley. Sang-shu, his face scratched up, muttered in disbelief. What did you say? Did I just hear that right? Du-hun, however, just stood there looking innocent. He kept pressing. I didn't hear you clearly. Can you say it again? If I don't break up with Kang John, you might just beat me up yourself. Suddenly, he pointed a finger and burst out laughing. Son Do-hun, you are so pathetic. I see right through you. Just like last time. You're jealous that I'm dating the beautiful John, aren't you? Right? He jeered, stepping closer. Hey, you bastard, you need to listen. You know nothing about women. That's why you got rejected. Meanwhile, Du-hun calmly replied. It wasn't that I couldn't. It's that I didn't. However, his words failed to stop Sang-shu's childish taunts. He just kept laughing in his face. Listen to the nonsense you're spouting. Du-hun suddenly cut him off, his voice turning ice cold. Hey, On Sang-shu, are you really so blind you can't see Kang John is just using you? And you know better than anyone the game she plays behind people's backs. His words left Sang-shu stunned. His eyes widened as he shot back. Watch your mouth. What the hell do you know about John? Keep talking useless gossip like that, and I'm not buying you food. This response left Du-hun astonished. He didn't back down. Then let me ask you one more thing. Why are you even with her? The answer came instantly. What kind of question is that? Obviously, it's because I like her. Du-hun's next words hit him like a bucket of cold water. But you know this too. She doesn't like you back. And you're okay with that? All the fight seemed to drain from Sang-shu as he spoke. Fine. I know John doesn't like me. But she's with me because she needs me. And more than anything, he suddenly burst into tears in front of Do-hun, his voice cracking. If I break up with John, I might never meet a girl as beautiful as her again. Sang-shu's reaction left him stunned for a moment. He unconsciously breathed out. What? At some Sunday shop, Du-hun sat across from Sang-shu. He kept checking on him. Are you done crying? Hearing this, he quickly denied it. Crying? Don't be stupid. I just got dust in my eye. Sang-shu's eyes were still teary, but he yelled towards the kitchen. Ma'am, 1 bottle of apple soju, please. This sudden act worried Du-hun, who thought to himself, maybe getting dumped was for the best. A while later, as things settled, Du-hun suddenly spoke with a serious look. Anyway, I heard from Se-jun that Kang John approached him and then dumped him, but she's not one to give up easily. Apparently she's writing some kind of novel. Of course, you knew all of this, didn't you? Sang-shu, however, just kept eating, answering with a naive expression. But first, I have a question. What's your deal with him? Why are you making this your business? Did he introduce you to a girl? The question made the other man pause to think. After a moment, he said, How should I put this? I owe a massive debt, and my own mistakes are piling up like a mountain. No matter how clueless you are, you have to know that what we did was wrong, no matter what. That's why I'm telling you this. At this, Sang-soo lowered his head, a hint of sadness in his eyes. He didn't hesitate to speak from the heart. Honestly, I keep doing things I shouldn't. I tried to stop John. If she heard me, she'd just think I was arrogant. After all, I entered this contest for myself, too. He suddenly looked up, his eyes now filled with an indescribable frustration. So before John makes a bigger mistake, I'll just take the blame and end it. Hearing this, Do-hun could only offer helpless advice. If you do what's right, she won't give up. Meanwhile, his inner voice was screaming. His eyes widened, realizing the truth about Kang-jon. Down quickly changed the subject. Let's just eat for now. Gong-soo readily agreed. At the table, he spoke carelessly, mentioning Se-jun instead of Han. On a familiar street corner, Gangu's voice echoed. That was a great meal. He stood there looking satisfied, his stomach completely full. Suddenly, Do-hun spoke up. If that's the case, he glanced at Gang-shu. You have no intention of quitting, do you? No matter what Kang-jon does, I'm not leaving her, Sang-shu shot back, his voice filled with annoyance. Seriously, why do you keep saying that? Break up? If you just stay by her side, she'll eventually fall for you for real. And don't worry about that Se-jun kid. I'll handle things carefully, so don't stress over it. Hearing this, Do-hun just shook his head. Hopeless, he muttered. You're just completely blinded by love. Sang-shu was stunned. What? Blind? Just get your own act together, you idiot. Do-hun suddenly spun around, snapping. Then before I go, a fist flew towards Gang-shu's face in an instant. But with his quick reflexes, he easily dodged the blow. Do-hun's eyes wavered. Even Gang-shu was surprised for a second. He pressed his advantage, knocking him off balance. He let out a surprised, "Whoa there." But Gang-shu didn't fall. He even put on an innocent face and spoke. That was close. Almost lost my jaw. Your reflexes are getting faster, Do-hun. Hearing that, Do-hun quickly shot back. Thanks. You too. A thought flashed through his mind. Asterisk. Even though it was a surprise attack, his body reacted instantly. Asterisk. Asterisk. He really is a terrifying opponent. Asterisk. Meanwhile, Sang-shu said excitedly, Don't tell me you want to continue this. I'd rather avoid any pointless fights if I can. And if we fight, my face will get all swollen and ugly. John would hate that. Do-hun could only let out a helpless sigh. Listen, I'm going to ask you seriously one more time. Are you really helping Kang-jon unconditionally, for her own good? He placed a hand on his shoulder, startling him. Or are you actually pushing her deeper into an abyss? If you truly care about her, and are doing this for her sake, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. With that, Do-hun turned and walked away, leaving Sang-shu stunned. I'm leaving. Think about what I said. The scene changes. We see John, looking up with a puzzled expression, muttering. So, she doesn't have any close friends? Her words left the other girl stunned for a moment. Is she an outcast? She stammered in reply. No, I don't think that's it. The scene changes once again. Meanwhile, Hajin is fast asleep in class. Asterisk, they always say I sleep too much, that I'll sleep from break time right through a lecture. Asterisk. The teacher's voice cuts through her dream. Student, wake up. Are you dead? But Hajin just mumbles, 5 more minutes. This sends the teacher into a rage, who yells even louder. With a jolt, Hajin's reflexes kick in. She sits, bolt upright, blurting out a response. No, sir, I wasn't sleeping. But as she comes to her senses, she realizes the classroom is completely empty. This shocks her. Huh? What's going on? Am I still dreaming? But then, the teacher's voice sounds right beside her. She jumps. You scared me. The teacher's voice softens. Class ended a while ago. You must be exhausted from studying so hard. This just confuses Hajin even more. She replies automatically. Oh, is that right? I'm sorry. The teacher gives a quick reminder before leaving. Hurry on home and get some rest. Still confused, Hajin bows her head. Yes, sir. Thank you for waking me. She stretches tiredly and mutters to herself. Man, I slept so well today. After that, Hajin packs her things and leaves the class cheerfully. Asterisk. There's no one else here. I'm the last one to leave. It's like I'm the most diligent student in class. What a great feeling. Asterisk. She walks happily down the lamplit street. But her presence doesn't go unnoticed. She's been spotted by you. The girl exclaims. Hajin's just now heading home, and she's all alone today too. Suddenly, John speaks up beside her. You understand what I need you to do, right? Just handle this properly, and I'll delete that video. The other girl immediately responds, I know, John. I promise, I'll do it right. She puts on a cold expression. Asterisk, there's just no one suitable to be my friend. Asterisk, if that's the case. Suddenly, John appears behind Hane with a wicked smirk, her hand raised high. Asterisk, there's no other choice. Asterisk. Asterisk, time for plan B. Asterisk. Suddenly, Hane's vision spins wildly. She collapses to the ground as John's bitter voice rings out from behind her. Hello. It's been a few years, hasn't it? Do you remember me? John puts on a mockingly sad face. You still haven't learned how to choose your friends, have you? Don't worry, I'll teach you. But John's expression quickly turned to confusion as he saw Hajin trembling. What's this? Is that all? This is nothing, right? I heard you'd been training, so I thought you'd be tougher than this. A single thought raced through Hajin's mind. She desperately calmed herself. Get a grip, Hajin. It's nothing. Just a fall. But Hane's sobs only grew louder, tears streaming down her cheeks. You're doing so well now. Don't let someone like this turn all your hard work into nothing. She squeezed her eyes shut, repeating it like a mantra. Think of your family. You'll worry them. And Se-jun, too. Meanwhile, John sighed with an air of superiority. This girl, if this is all she's got, it's no fun at all. You have to fight back to make this a story. That's the only way to ruin your boyfriend. But Hane remained silent, completely still. After a moment, she spoke slowly. What did you just say? Her words finally sparked John's interest. The bully let out a contemptuous laugh. What was that? Are you feeling better now? That's more like it. This will make an interesting story. Nobody wants to watch a crybaby. Hane slowly got to her feet, her eyes fixed on her opponent. No, don't change the subject. Just answer my question. Did you make him use his looks to get free cigarettes from the convenience store? The words enraged John. She raised her hand to strike, yelling, What? Are you insane, you crazy bitch? You want me to make your face as red as his? But in a flash, Hane blocked the attack. She pressed her voice low. Did you say you'd ruin Se-jun? The question made John tremble with fury. She spat back. That's right. I'll ruin you both. Just you wait. Then, a thought flashed in her mind. Wait, what? How could her small body hold the strength of a grown man? In an instant, Hane's expression hardened. She growled, You dare. A strange silence fell over the entire school campus. I once thought that my world had collapsed when I was 10 years old. A young girl with a desolate look on her face walked through the vast schoolyard. Suddenly, a boy's voice called out from behind her. Hey, Kim Hane. She quickly turned around. Huh? What? Immediately, he and his friends burst into cruel laughter. Who gave you those awful bangs? Did your mom's boyfriend cut them with office scissors? At that, Hane's composure broke, and she began to sob. She kept denying it. He's not my mom's boyfriend. He married my mom, so he's my stepfather now, you idiots. Hearing this, the freckled boy showed no sympathy. Instead, he mocked her even more relentlessly. Oh, so that's it. Sorry, my mistake. So now a guy who shares no blood with you is your father? But there's something I'm curious about. His words grew crueler. Did your mom have an affair with him? Is that why they divorced? Hane couldn't take it anymore and screamed back. That's not true. Stop talking such nonsense. But the boy just kept sneering. But it's weird, though. She got remarried just a year after the divorce. The timing is just too perfect. Suddenly, a chubby boy from behind spoke up, interrupting him. Hey, at his words, the freckled boy whipped around, annoyed. What? What is it? Se-jun offered a sudden excuse. I think I left my phone on my desk. Didn't you just get it? The freckled boy's face went pale with fear. That's right. He and his friends scrambled away. Oh no. If I lost it, my dad would kill me. Wasn't that the newest iPhone? How could you forget that, you idiot? Only then did Se-jun's gaze shift toward Hane. Her body started to tremble with fear, her voice stammering. What? What do you want? What are you looking at? Fresh tears streamed down her face. She spoke, her voice thick with resentment. Are you going to make fun of me too, you pig? After a moment of silence, Se-jun finally replied. Choppy bangs. The words left Hane stunned. She stammered. What? What kind of bangs? Se-jun quickly explained her confusion. That's the name of your hairstyle. Choppy bangs. Hane just mumbled the words. Choppy bangs. Se-jun replied again, his tone slow and thoughtful, almost nostalgic. He looked at her with a pensive expression. Since they're cut above the eyebrow, they can look cute. But if your face shape isn't right, you can end up looking like a gourd. It's normally a very fashionable style that's hard for people to pull off like you do. Se-jun's words made Hine feel shy for a moment. She couldn't help but ask, Like me? As soon as the words left her mouth, she got her answer. Your face is pretty, and you have a lot of side hair, so it doesn't look empty. It really suits you. What is this? Is he saying I'm beautiful? He suddenly reached his hand toward Hane's face. The unexpected gesture made her cheeks burn red. Don't doubt your own world because of the words of ignorant people who just like to run their mouths. Se-jun continued to smile warmly. You don't have to be hurt by those words. Just pay attention to the people who love and believe in you. The more you spoke, the more confused Hane became. If so, the world would be a wonderful place. After a moment, she stammered, How do you know all that? And so, they walked out of school together, their laughter echoing. My mom told me. She must be an amazing mother. She is. Hane's voice was tinged with doubt. Is she picking you up today? Se-chun replied with an enthusiastic tone. I usually go alone, but my dad's friend is getting me today. A hint of sadness crossed Hane's face. She whispered. I see. My stepdad is picking me up. But Se-chun's response was casual. I know. His words made her suspicious. Huh? How did you know? Suddenly, Se-chun bowed politely to a man, surprising Hane completely. Hello, sir. The man quickly turned and waved at Hane, his voice full of affection. Hane, over here. I told you I'd pick you up today, didn't I? Hane quickly bowed in return. Yes. Hello, sir. But, do you know him? Hane's stepfather began to explain. Se-chun? He's my friend's son. His family's been busy, so I'm picking him up. Since you're at the same school, I'm taking him too, if it's inconvenient for you two. But she waved her hands shyly. No, it's fine. We're just not that close. We can go together. Hane's reaction made him suspicious, and he ventured a guess. Look at you kids. However, Hane's stepfather regained his serious composure. He called out to Se-chun. Let's get going then. Se-chun, my car is over there. Let's go. The boy replied with an innocent look. Yes, sir. I just need to throw something away. All right, go ahead. Just come right back. Se-chun calmly put a hand in his pocket. He slowly pulled out a new phone. It seemed to be the item that freckled student wanted. After a moment's hesitation, Se-chun tossed it into the trash with a carefree look. He quickly returned to Hane's stepfather, speaking politely. Thank you for waiting, sir. But the man replied, What are you talking about? What did you throw away? Faced with the question, Se-chun casually gave a different reason. My sunglasses. And just like that, the two children grew up together. My world felt like it was collapsing, but new pillars made it stronger and purer than ever. They had unconsciously held hands as children, and as time passed, a small, happy smile formed on Hane's stepfather's lips. I opened the door to that world, inviting someone in. Both families journeyed together through all the years that followed. That is how my world became perfect, by living happily each day with the people I loved. But tragically, Se-chun's mother suddenly collapsed right after taking a photo. There's a saying, the reason we learn about tragedy is because it will find us, one way or another. His father rushed to catch her, overcome with worry. We must learn about it, even a little, before we face it. Otherwise, the shock will be too much to bear. But no miracle occurred. Se-chun's mother passed away not long after. Tragedy comes for everyone, good or bad, and some tragedies cannot be changed, no matter how hard you try. That day was the beginning of his dark life. It was enough to crack the pillar that seemed utterly unbreakable. Se-chun's sorrow did not escape Hane's sight. So I thought, for the boy who became a pillar in my world. She couldn't help but feel lost seeing him this way. I must become the same for him, so his world doesn't collapse. The image of Se-chun sitting alone on the stairs filled her mind. From now on, I will stay by his side to protect him, sometimes as a friend. However, she only dared to sit quietly nearby, watching him from a distance. Sometimes a lover, or maybe siblings. Back in reality, a deep voice echoed in the quiet night. You dare ruin Se-chun? Hane stood there, her hair a mess, relentlessly questioning her opponent. The moment she faced John, all fear in Hane's heart vanished. A mother? Who are you? How dare you touch Se-chun? However, her eyes still betrayed her panic, her breathing becoming ragged. Whatever the reason, you don't have my permission. John finally spoke, grinding out each word through her teeth. Your hypocrisy disgusts me. I don't need it. She swung her hand angrily at Hane. Your permission, you arrogant woman. Shockingly, Hane not only dodged but countered in a flash. She glared fiercely at John. In that instant, it seemed John's breath caught in her throat, her eyes wide with utter disbelief. Immediately, Hane slammed John to the ground, making her scream in pain. Gaining the advantage, she lunged at her opponent ferociously. The two women wrestled fiercely on the cold, hard ground. John sneered, her voice dripping with venom. Finally showing your true colors. Aren't you, you wretched thing? Hane gasped for breath, firing back. What kind of nonsense are you spouting? What are you planning? Who are you? And why did you suddenly get close to us? Hane's panicked expression was exactly what John wanted. A triumphant smirk spread across her face. I already told you, you fool. My goal is to shatter both of your lives. Seeing you so happy together fills me with a rage that wants to burn it all down." Those words echoed in Hajin's mind, making her world spin. "Besides, it seems your precious boyfriend is destroying himself just fine." A moment later, she regained her composure and demanded an answer. What did you do to Se-jun's car?" In response, John just burst into scornful laughter. "Me? What are you even talking about? I haven't even started yet." The real destruction of his life begins now. The color drained from Haynes' face as cold sweat beaded on her forehead. "It's you. It was all because of you, you absolute fool." Her grip on John's collar suddenly slackened. You really don't know anything, do you?" Haynes staggered to her feet, her face a mask of terror as her breathing grew ragged. "What? Are you saying I'm the one ruining Se-jun?" "Freed." John scrambled up, pointing a finger at her opponent while letting out a wild, mocking laugh. "That's right, you psycho. Do you have any idea what he's been doing? This all started because of you." Her triumphant grin only widened. Suddenly, Se-jun appeared from the shadows. Without hesitation, he landed a devastating blow that sent John reeling. Her agonized scream shattered the night's silence. Se-jun stood over her, his expression absolutely furious. He snarled, "You worthless bitch." His face was a mask of pure hatred as he glared down at John. "I can't even see you as a human being anymore." The air grew still, the alley becoming deathly, suffocatingly quiet. John covered her mouth, a pained groan escaping. Her hand came away covered in blood, her face twisted in disbelief. One of her teeth had been knocked clean out. A terrifying fear seized her, and her hands began to tremble uncontrollably. Se-jun's face was glacial, his gaze piercing through her like a bullet. "How dare you run that filthy mouth of yours and play with people's lives?" His every word was like a razor's edge. "I don't care what kind of life you've lived, but you picked the wrong person this time. I'll make you regret this in agony." But before he could finish, John began to cackle like a maniac. Se-jun stared at her pathetic form, completely bewildered. He asked, "What's so funny, you psycho?" John looked up, a mocking sneer on her lips. "No. But are you trying to look cool right now? Or do you just look like a complete idiot?" Her eyes widened as she broke into hysterical laughter. "Showing up like this. I should actually be grateful, you thoughtless bastard." Se-jun's expression remained unchanged as he swung again, mercilessly striking her. "What are you rambling about, psycho?" The blow sent John reeling. She clutched her face, glaring at him with pure malice. "Damn you. You uncultured brute. Are you sure you can handle the fallout from this?" She cackled, convinced she had him cornered. "I recorded everything, you idiot. You dared to hit a woman? Especially with that famous face of yours. You fool. Your life is over." She turned her head, calling to an accomplice hiding nearby. "Hey, Lee Yidu, you got all that, right? It's done, now run." The other girl stammered a reply. "I'm going!" John yelled after her. "Edit it and upload it online." Immediately, Yidu took off running. She clutched the phone, gritting her teeth and reassuring herself. She promised she'd clear my name this time. "It'll be fine." But tears streamed down her face. "As long as it isn't me." With the evidence secured, John licked the sweet, metallic taste of blood from her lips. "So, what will you do now?" She looked up, taunting Se-jun, trying to bait him into chasing after the video. "If you don't want to live your whole life branded a woman beater," she thought gleefully. This was going easier than she'd imagined. The moment he gave chase, that video would be uploaded to the cloud, rendering his efforts useless. Her eyes practically bulged from their sockets, a sheen of sweat covering her from the sheer excitement. A martial artist attacking a defenseless woman. That's a career-ending crime. He'll have to chase the recording. If he does that, everything will go exactly according to her plan. She envisioned the ending where she was the victor, and if he chases Li Yangdu, I'll have won completely. But Sun refused to be baited by her taunts. He turned, and a flash of panic crossed her face. If she didn't follow now, she would lose his trail. Seeing his cold silence, John staggered to his feet, completely bewildered. "Hey, are you an idiot? Can't you understand me? Go after her, now." Arang desperately tried to convince him, saying this would ruin his life. But he calmly replied, "I've handled this before." "You'd ruin your entire life for one girl?" But Se-jun didn't seem to hear her as he walked towards Hajin. She was kneeling on the ground, covered in a cold sweat, her skin deathly pale as if her soul had left her. "Se-jun, is this all because of that day?" Her breathing grew ragged, and her blood ran cold. "Seo Hajin, what have I done?" A tear of pure agony and regret escaped from her eye. If only I hadn't gone there that day. Just then, Se-jun knelt before her. He gently covered her ears with his hands. A comforting warmth spread from his palms, and Hajin froze. A distant memory flashed through her mind. When they were young, she had done the exact same thing, whispering gently to Se-jun as she covered his ears. Back then, as he cried his heart out, she had helped him block out the words of self-blame. Hajin's smile was like the warm sun, comforting him. It's not your fault. These things just happen. In his moment of deepest despair, she had been the lifeline for his fragile soul. Everything will be okay. I will always be on your side. Returning to the present, Se-jun used that same gesture to prove the deep, unbreakable bond between them. No matter what happens, I will never, ever blame you. He smiled warmly at her. Because I'm always on your side too. Meanwhile, Ji-yoon had somehow found a steel pipe and was gripping it tightly. She crept up behind Se-jun, her voice a twisted rasp. What an eyesore. Are we shooting a movie here? She cackled like a madwoman, raising the pipe high. If so, this film is about to have a very bad ending. I can't stand the sight of you. She brought the pipe down with vicious force, her face a mask of cruelty and resentment. This wretched couple. Se-jun glanced back, his eyes widening in shock and alarm. Hajin struggled for breath, sweat pouring down her face. In a flash, she shoved him hard to the side, her sudden speed catching Se-jun completely off guard. She dropped low, then unleashed a devastating uppercut right into Ji-yoon's jaw. The blow sent another one of her teeth flying, and her consciousness shattered. A heavy thud echoed through the alley. Ji-yoon lay on the ground, knocked out cold by Hajin's single strike. She stood over her, panting heavily. She knocked her out with one punch? He was frozen solid, jaw agape and utterly speechless. Doesn't she know how to hold back at all? That seriously scared me. Hajin looked back, wiping the sweat from her face. She held her head high and smirked. You have to aim for the chin. She's always been just a dumb pig, with nothing but brute force. Se-jun collapsed onto the ground, still reeling from the shock. My apologies. Suddenly remembering something, she changed the subject. Wait, what about the person who was filming? He replied instantly. Her? Don't worry, it's been taken care of. As Yongdu frantically tried to escape, she ran straight into Do-hun. Her eyes widened, tears welling up. What is it? Do-hun's expression was icy and threatening. If you're in danger, if you need help. He stared at her intently. Then I can lend a hand. A certain big bear is protecting you, after all. Back at the news agency, the news had already spread like wildfire. Section Chief Kim was trembling, trying his best to hold back a fit of laughter. This is priceless. Jun-woo, seeing him from the counter, asked curiously, What is? What's so funny? Section Chief Kim burst out laughing. It's Kang Ji-yoon. She tried to stir up trouble again but got completely owned by Se-jun. And to top it off, Hajin knocked her out with an uppercut. Jun-woo was amazed. That kid is a real monster. The witnesses must have been terrified. Chief Kim was still laughing like he'd just heard the funniest story in the world. He smirked and replied, Terrified? I bet they loved it. I'm really starting to like this Se-jun kid, and Kang Ji-yoon is proving quite useful. What should I do now? If Seon-woo finds out, all hell is going to break loose. Just then, his team leader rushed up to report. Section Chief. Chief Kim asked smoothly. What is it, team leader? The man replied immediately. I've sent the file you asked me to investigate. Section Chief Kim swiped through his tablet to view the document. He asked nonchalantly. Judging by his appearance, I'm guessing he's from the JM group with Se-jun. What's his story? The team leader hesitated for a moment before speaking. That's the strange part. There's absolutely no information on him. Chief Kim looked at the picture of Ah-sung as his subordinate reported. Besides the name, there are no records of his Korean heritage. No records of him graduating from elementary or middle school. Not even from a high school, in some remote village. After that, nothing. Those schools have long been closed, making it impossible to find any more information. The team leader thought for a long moment, then formed a new hypothesis. I suspect he's former special forces, which is why his information is so tightly sealed. I had a hacker from my mercenary days scour every global military database, but he came up with absolutely nothing. He continued, even a vagrant leaves more of a trace. This case is extremely suspicious. Manager Kim's expression turned strangely ecstatic. This was beyond perfect. He was 100% certain the information was fabricated. It's not just hidden information. He was likely declared dead, given a new identity, and is now living a different life. Meanwhile, at the gym, Se-chun approached Aeon to voice his request. His words left Aeon utterly stunned. What? You want me to teach you what? Se-chun stared him down and repeated his words. Real-world combat techniques. To defeat an expert wrestler who has mastered grappling. Aeon removed his shirt, baring his torso. Fine. At that exact moment, Manager Kim set his sights on him. Do you know the one thing people with fabricated identities have in common? Aeon was drenched in sweat. He ordered Se-chun, take off your shirt. And your pants. Manager Kim's voice echoed in his mind. You either arrange for someone's death, or you kill them yourself. Night had fallen, but the streets were still glowing. Inside the dojo, Aeon wore only black shorts, and told Se-chun to do the same. Shirt off, pants too. Unsure of Aeon's plan, he just obediently stripped. Yes. As his outer pants came off, Aeon stared wide-eyed. After changing, Se-jun asked, "My underwear too?" The innocent question left Aeon momentarily speechless. "That's gross. No. Just put on the shorts." From another room, a young man with parted hair walked out beaming. So refreshing. Nothing beats a shower after a good jujitsu session to end the day. Suddenly, he stumbled upon a strange sight. He saw Aeon shirtless, while Se-jun beside him wore only a single piece of cloth. The parted hair kid stammered, "What are you doing? Why aren't you wearing clothes?" Knowing what he was thinking, Aeon shut him down. "Stop your nonsense and go home, you brat." The kid quickly covered his face and fled. "Yes, sir, you've worked hard." Jong-hun glanced at Se-jun from behind, thinking, Se-jun's condition looks bad. Is he exhausted? Once they were gone, Se-jun finally asked, "So, is Noji Jujitsu really that different from Jujitsu with a uniform?" Aeon shot him a dead-eyed look and answered, "The fundamental concepts are the same, but in a uniform, you can't even use choking or joint locking techniques." He then proposed a scenario. "Look at those drunk old men fighting at night. They always rip their shirts off. Come on, let's go around." "Back in my day, I was." "Back in your day what? I'm a wild dog," Se-jun then asked. "They always strip off their shirts and scream like that?" "But it stops there. It's just a war of words. You want to fight? Try me. I'll do it. So what then?" Aeon continued the lesson. "But it's different when it's not two drunks, but two people who have mastered jujitsu. Most do it for pure intimidation, but sometimes, a true hidden master takes his shirt off for a different reason. Let's say on the street, two men walking past each other accidentally collide. The other man asks, 'What are you doing?' The man in the suit hissed with irritation, 'Hey, if you bump into someone, you should apologize.' In contrast, the bearded man in the hat seemed slightly surprised. He turned to the suit, his voice dripping with provocation. 'My apologies. It's because my shoulders are as wide as the Pacific Ocean.' In an instant, the bearded man's hat was sent flying. The man in the suit, enraged, shed his jacket. 'You think this is a joke because I was being polite? You call that an apology? Whatever. I'm in a terrible mood today, so your timing is perfect.' Fear finally crept into the bearded man's eyes as he backed away. 'Why are you doing this? I already said I was sorry. Please, just stop.' But his flimsy apologies couldn't stop the man's rage. He grabbed the bearded man's collar and snarled, 'Stop? Who are you to decide that, you capitalist?' The bearded man's provocative tone returned. 'This shirt is very expensive, you know.' That was the final straw. A fist smashed into the bearded man's plump cheek. 'I didn't ask, you bastard.' But he just flexed his 379,001 shirt. But in that moment, the bearded man's entire aura changed. A true master. He dodged the punch in a flash, stunning the suited man. He raged, 'What? How? How did he do that? That's why they take their shirts off. So they can't be grabbed.' A moment later, the suited man saw him, stripped down in a yoga pose. 'What the hell? Pervert? Why not just drop your pants?' He calmly responded. 'Taking off a jacket is third rate,' he said, stepping from his tangled pants. 'Taking off your shirt is second rate, and taking off your pants is first rate.' With his taunt finished, the bearded man revealed his large belly, taking a stance. This bizarre display only enraged his opponent. 'What kind of nonsense is this?' the bald man declared. 'With nothing to grab, my movements are unrestricted.' True to his word, his slippery movements began to exhaust Vest. 'Why are you so much like an eel?' He then realized why the bearded man was untouchable. With no clothes, his body was just too slick. Even if I grabbed his limbs, he would just slip away. Vest thought he finally got a hold on the man's head. 'Unbelievable,' he grinned, ready for the final blow. 'I've got you now.' But the bearded man easily escaped, slipped away again. Caught in this useless struggle, Vest was overcome with exhaustion and fury. 'I can't catch him when he's shirtless. He's like an eel.' Then, his eyes locked onto the man's massive gut. 'A belly that large has to be a weakness. I'll aim for that.' Just then, the bearded man smirked. 'What? Giving up already? No matter who you are, you're just a side character. I'm on a completely different level.' Seizing his chance, Vest threw a mighty punch. 'You damn baldy! Let's see your fat belly take this.' Announcing your attack beforehand is pure foolishness. Beardy, however, remained strangely calm. The man simply met the attack with his gut. The shocking rebound dislocated every knuckle on Vest's hand. Staring at his swollen fist, he screamed in agony, 'My hand! My hand!' Then he rolled on the ground in pain. So painful. As the man wailed, his opponent muttered, 'I settled that without even lifting a finger.' After finishing his foe, he put his hat back on, sneering, 'Look here, punk. Never underestimate a naked fighter. I may have a fat belly, but underneath is nothing but pure muscle.' And so, the demonstration of Aeon's shirtless fighting style concluded. He now stared blankly with a lazy expression. The jujitsu used in these recent matches is called Fury Jujitsu. In a way, it's more practical than standard gi jujitsu, as one must be ready to fight a naked opponent. And obviously, Se-jun was no match for him. He was held pinned tightly to the floor. Why do you want to learn? Is your next opponent a Fury Jujitsu user? Se-jun was released, gasping for air. He replied, yes, Sun Do-hun told me the guy is an absolute monster. Aeon's expression never changed. Is that so? For now, just keep training. But you'll need a special trick if you want to win. At that very moment, in another gym, a loud voice cried out. What are you talking about? A girl in a black mask said, her face smudged. You don't believe me? Why would I lie about this? A young man with a buzz cut named Sang-soo looked on with an indifferent face. It's not that. Kids film everything when they pull stunts like this. This time, there is no evidence. He looked at John and explained himself. And how could a guy even hit a girl like that? She suddenly ripped her mask down, showing a bruised face and a missing tooth as she began to shriek. Are you heartless? That bastard Lim Se-chun did this. I'm losing my mind over my tooth. Her agitation grew even more wild. Is getting revenge for me really that difficult? How can you be so calm when I'm like this? My phone's gone, and my cloud storage was wiped. Those bastards deleted everything. Sang-soo showed no reaction to his girlfriend's rage. He simply said, no. Of course I'm angry. But thinking it over, for a man to hit a woman's face, I'm sorry. I really can't believe your story. Hearing his blunt refusal, John lost all faith in her muscle-headed boyfriend. She whispered, I see. Damn it. It's so frustrating being treated like a liar. It seems we've completely lost trust in one another. I can't believe you think I'm that kind of person. With that, she left. Sang-soo called out after her, John, what do you mean? That's not what I meant. She calmed down, her words becoming sharp and clear. Sang-soo, I still trust you, but you clearly don't trust me. Your heart may be moved, but trust must be mutual. I don't even know what this relationship is anymore, so let's just break up. Her words left Sang-soo completely floored. His world came crashing down around him. Leaving him frozen on the spot, John walked away without looking back. She was still seething, muttering to herself, how dare he call me a liar? Does he think no one else will help me? This is ridiculous. Then, a wicked plan began to form. This is the perfect time to call that bastard. I can finally betray him. Sang-soo is too stupid for this kind of work. Before she was out the door, she was already calling someone, her voice sickeningly sweet. Appa, long time no see. How are you? But for Sang-soo, this breakup was absolutely devastating. 1 year, 6 months, and 8 days. His first real relationship was over. Just thinking those words was enough to make him want to cry for a month. Inside the precinct, a uniformed officer erupted. Officer Na, have you lost your mind? The chief didn't hold back his furious lecture. You alone are driving me crazy. Why are you so obsessed with this case? That investigation was closed ages ago. Why are you still digging it up? If one cop is stuck on an old case, who handles the new ones? But Dong-hoon didn't back down, standing firm to defend his actions. Nothing was resolved, so how could the case be closed? That wasn't just a simple assault. The investigation so far points to an unknown organization running illegal fighting tournaments, targeting students. On top of that, they could be involved in far more serious crimes. But Dong-hoon's words lacked hard proof. The chief saw his stubbornness and retorted, that's speculation. All of it is just your speculation. That kid isn't a cop. But you are, and everything you say requires evidence. Stop talking like you're in some detective novel. Dong-hoon's face hardened. No. Chief, why do you always get in my way? Adding fuel to the fire, the chief's rage finally exploded. What did you say? I'm getting in your way? Do you hear yourself? I'm just following orders from the higher-ups. Do you really not understand? You brat! Dong-hoon's voice was defiant, relentlessly challenging his superior. If the chief only follows orders from above, then what's the difference between you and a puppet? It was a miracle the chief didn't have a heart attack. He roared, his voice cracking. It's not that easy. Stop sitting there talking like some naive dreamer. You madman. If you want to investigate this so badly, then bring me some real evidence. Only then can we officially reopen the case. Understand? Seeing him about to explode, Dong-hoon knew to take a step back. I get it. Stop shouting. I'll buy you lunch, Chief. The chief practically chased him out of the room. In the main lobby, Officer Kim spotted him. Officer Na, come sit down for a minute. He motioned to the others. Officer Jang is here too. We're ordering lunch, so you should eat with us. The disheveled Hae-ung Ekshish scratched his head. I already had pork soup. You need to go shower. I could smell you before I even saw you. Just get me an extra bowl of rice. Noticing his junior officer's sullen mood, Dong-hoon asked, You're back? Still no sign of Im Trong-hun? He replied, No, sir. After vanishing from the hospital, he hasn't been to school or home. Then Hai Ung-shich narrowed his eyes thoughtfully. Minors usually hang around their regular spots. I don't know who's giving him orders, or who's hiding him. Something's not right, or maybe it's just because I haven't showered. He then recalled a lead from a past mission. Like I said before, the man with glasses I saw at the Golden Pistol. I tailed him to the 19th floor, and something felt suspicious. After following him, I saw him turn a corner, he continued. I saw him enter room 1903. For the past 2 years, the registered owner hasn't even been in the country. Watching his subordinate, the pieces started clicking for Dong Huan. Hai Ung-sich suspected the man with glasses was connected to their target, but he vanished completely after that day. I think he already left the building. At that moment, Dong Huan held up a file and asked, "Did you get a composite sketch made of him?" Hai Ung-sich replied, "Yes, but without any solid evidence, I can't issue a warrant for his arrest. We have to find him Trong Hun fast. A little pressure and he'll talk. But now he's gone." Inside the folder was a stack of A4 paper. Hyung-shish asked curiously, "What's that?" Dong Huan replied, "I don't know. Let's open it and see." As soon as he saw the contents, Hai Ung-shich's eyes went wide with shock. Dong Huan stammered, "What is this?" "This is evidence. Proof of blackmail using a video." The photo on the page was of a girl. It was John. He scanned the information, stunned. Who would be blackmailing Kang John? Beside him, Hai Ung-zich muttered, "This is a serious crime." Dong Huan sensed a huge lead and asked again, "Wait. Isn't that the car Officer Jang mentioned?" The photo showed a black car with a girl standing by the window. "Huh? You're right. That's the car that hit Lim Dong-hyun and fled the scene. The license plate is identical. It's a fake plate. This girl must be connected to that incident too." Just then, Officer Kim walked back in. Dong Huan asked him, "Officer Kim, do you know who sent this package to us?" He replied, "Some man came and gave it to me." "Is that so? Was there no sender's name?" Back at the files, Dong Hui muttered, "First, let's find this student, Hyung-sik. He might have contacted someone, so we need to move quietly." A thought suddenly flashed through his mind. Who sent this? And why was it sent here? Meanwhile, at the training room, Aeon was resting with his eyes closed. A shadow fell over him, forcing his eyes open. Dong Hai's face was close as he asked, "You're awake?" Aeon teased back, "Your head's huge." Then, Dong Hai called someone over to Aeon. The friend wanted to thank him and had a question. Aeon asked absently, "Who?" A black-haired girl stood before him and introduced herself. "Hello, I'm Lee Young-do. Thank you for your help, for deleting the files and cloud backups from Kang John's phone." Her face was filled with worry. "But I can't go to school anymore. I didn't have the video I filmed with me that day. The moment he sees me, I'll be killed instantly. How can I avoid ever running into Kang John?" I wanted to ask. "Would it be okay if I transferred schools?" "There's no one else I can ask." Seeing her dejected face and dark aura, Owen quietly asked, "What should be done? Should you just fight back?" He suddenly sat up, speaking with that same indifferent tone. "No matter how many weapons or how much evidence you have, intense fear triggers the instinct to run from reality." But his words seemed to finally get through to Yongdu. Her eyes widened as he continued, "To get back what you've lost, you have no choice but to fight. The bad memories will be terrifying, but you must tell her not to run. Facing it directly is the only way to be safe."